Um, all right, yeah. So, I mean, the last topic that I had, we all know the league was cut short. A lot of things went unresolved. Um, One of the things that went unresolved was one of the most exciting players ever, Vince Carter. His career came to an end. He didn't get the proper send off. His last game, he was with Atlanta. He hit a couple. He hit the last jump shot. They brought him in. What was John, how will you describe Vince Carter's career to your future basketball youngins and anybody who wants to do what is Vince?
Was Vince was half man, half amazing.
Okay.
Like man, he was just a hardworking hooper. Man. I like Vince. He's one of my favorites. Came out, played hard every night. Like man, dunk on anyone. Like the playoff battles, like the playoff battle. He had a lot of great playoff battles like that when he was out there in Toronto.
Sixers. Yeah, them in the Sixers.
That was fun. And then when he left Toronto and he went to Jersey, man, he did his thing out there. I saw Vince, man. He always play hard, man. He give you good buckets, always get you 20 points. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Like man, it was a hooper. It was fun to watch him. Like coming out of college, I never expected him to be like, just this killer out there because he played hard, he did his thing. Well, I didn't see him like just being like next to like say like a Kobe, Jordan level and like that because of his guard position or whatever. But no, a great player. I thought his career was fun to watch. He played hard. He gave us lots of highlights, lots of memories, man. I thank Vince, man. That was a great time. That was a great basketball career to watch.
I got a question for you after Pierre goes. Go ahead.
So you said how would I describe Vince's career?
Yeah.
I may this may cause an argument too, which I like to do a lot, but I think Vince underachieved, man. That's the one word I would use to describe Vince. And maybe I have higher expectations than what I really should have had. But John, looking at Vince coming out of high school or coming out of college, North Carolina, he was 6'6", could jump out the gym, had a nice little stroke. He could do everything that Kobe's and the Michaels and Grant Hills could do. So I had expected him to be better than what he was. Not saying that he didn't have a great career. He did. He's half man, half amazing. But when we talk about Vince, we talk about Vince as a dunker and as a good player and as a journeyman. He left Toronto back in 2004, which was a long time ago. Granted, he had a couple years. No, it's nothing wrong with being a journeyman.
What? Says who?
No. He made it to the league. He played on a lot of teams, which I still think is saying something. He was able to change his game over time, but I just wanted more from Vince. I wanted Vince to be in that top 5 discussion of two guards, and Vince is never there. Vince might be top 10 two guards, but he's definitely not in the conversation with Wade, Kobe, Michael, and those guys. I just had higher expectations for him, man.
Man.
I did.
I couldn't hold it back no more. Oh, wow.
Wait a second.
I couldn't hold it back no more.
Okay, look. Maybe, first off, you can't, okay. Maybe the last 3 years of he's like 50. Maybe the last 3 years of his career, you can call him a journeyman. Pierre, you might be too young. There was a time where they didn't know if it was Kobe or Vince. There was seriously a time.
I remember that.
He kept working. So when you say underachiever, I'm not mad at that because there were different work ethics. Because Vince, you couldn't fuck with Vince. He had a fadeaway from 3. Vince had
that fadeaway was something stupid.
Vince was nice.
Vince, they literally didn't know if it was Vince or Kobe, and then Kobe.
No. It was also Iverson. I look at, and this is why I look at that playoffs. I look at that playoff series a lot because we play this game to win at the highest level. Al was able to get his team there. Reggie Miller. These other two guards were able to. Let me finish. These other two guards were able to get their team over the hump. Vince had all the talent of these guys. He just never got his team over the hump. And that bothers me a little bit because I think that solidifies your career, at least to say I got my team to a finals. So that's all I'm saying. If Vince underachieved, I can't compare him to the greats because they were able to do it and Vince did. Maybe it did come down to work ethic. Sure, but I expected more from Vince. That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, listen, I understand that. I can say Vince fell in. The reason why he couldn't beat AI, Vince fell in love with three.
With the jump shot. Yeah.
He fell in love. He just would not go to the basket. He had Alvin Williams, Alvin Williams had a career made that playoff series. Nobody had heard of Alvin Williams before. Nobody's heard of Alvin Williams since. But that boy was giving Eric Snow trouble. He was dropping like 20, 25. I remember vividly. They was like, what are we gonna do with Alvin Williams? He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the point guard on the team. I remember.
Was balling.
Right.
I remember. Yeah.
Vince, I feel like you're being disrespectful. I feel like you're being disrespectful to Vince. You calling him a journeyman?
It's not wrong with being a journeyman.
Yes, it is. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being a journeyman if your guys like your
He's been on 8 teams.
Like Matt Barnes.
Yeah, Matt Barnes. That's
He's
nothing wrong with that.
He's
Listen,
been on 8 teams. That's a fact.
The last 3-4 don't count.
Why don't they count?
The only teams that count are Toronto,
New Jersey,
and Jersey.
I say one more, Dallas, because he had some good time in Dallas before he got hurt.
What y'all trying to say is the Orlando year didn't count, which no one knows. I don't remember that. Phoenix year don't count.
He was.
I forgot about Dallas.
So if you go from Jersey to Dallas, come on now. And yes,
I forgot about Suns years.
To have all that talent and y'all don't even remember, my man has been on 8 teams. No disrespect.
I forgot.
That's my card, man.
Listen,
teams,
you want to know why though?
Okay.
No. Wait. Because that Toronto and Jersey was so long of a span. Like, you know what I mean? He was in Toronto. He solidified himself in Toronto. He went to Jersey. He did his thing. His career. Like we seen,
after that I forgot. Shit.
Yeah, we seen it wasn't really going how we thought it was gonna go. Kobe had already took over the league. Vince, he just was like, "Fuck it," you know. I'll dunk on his last thing is when he dunked on Zoe. When he dunked on Zoe,
he had a really funky dunk in Dallas. I just watched the highlight of it just a minute ago.
I'm still.
Look at what y'all saying though. Y'all saying y'all talking about this man's dunk.
But look though.
He's a great dunker. He's probably the best dunker of all time.
That's all I just said. I was like, man, y'all like when he came out of college, he did. See, when I saw him in college, there was something about him that I didn't see that dog. Even when he got to even when he came out but when he started playing hoop, when he had that series in Toronto with AI, I didn't see the dog in him then.
He didn't have the dog. Yeah. You know what's funny?
Yeah. So he's who? He got that kind of dog. I never saw that kind of dog out of him. So I got what I got out of his. I just like what he did.
He don't got the game 6. All right, I'm about to go get this. I don't want to go back to Philly. I don't want to go back to fucking wherever you at. Yeah,
I'm finna finish this shit right now. He ain't never seen that from him. I don't know what gives you a second here.
But he gonna give you 20 something. He gonna dunk on you. You know,
maybe because I'm looking at his physique. 6'6", can jump, can shoot. He just had all the skills that you want in a basketball player. That's
here's
why
the thing. He wasn't right. Vince Carter wasn't.
Jared wasn't as smart as Vince though.
But wait, Vince Carter was never a number 1 option. They just placed him there.
He had no choice.
He played the role that he could be. He was like when Bosh was out there. He needed to be a number 2 option. If
Vince would have had Kid all that time,
yeah, come on now. He never had he had Muggsy Bogues. He had cats like that.
I think Vince was drafted as a number 1 option. He was drafted number 5 overall. That would tell me number 1 option.
A lot of guys are drafted. Hakeem Warwick was drafted. I mean, a lot of these guys are drafted. That doesn't mean just because you're drafted high doesn't make you a number 1 option. Is RJ Barrett a number 1 option?
I would think the teams would look at you as a top pick or as a top option, especially at
what
that
if
time.
They're drafting you for a need? They need a wing that they know you're going to develop into a very good player. I don't think you draft a guy.
That wasn't the case for Toronto at that time.
Well, so came from New Mexico State. They went to the Cavs number 1.
Who?
Exactly.
Oh, you're talking about Anthony Bennett. Yeah, at that time he was looked at to be the second player to Kyrie. But yeah, I'm talking about Vince Carter was drafted for the Toronto Raptors to be that guy. He still was able to be that guy. He just wasn't Allen Iverson that guy. He wasn't.
You can't compare
those guys.
But Allen Iverson was 5'10"
And you saw the dog in that.
Yeah, like he doesn't
That's all I'm
count.
saying.
He
That's all I'm
doesn't
saying.
The
count.
way he was crossing mobs up and kicking ass in Georgetown.
You can't
But I
compare
have
the
to
two.
compare you. I have to compare you to the other top 2 guards at your time.
Okay, you
But
saw
he
that
was-
he didn't have the dog.
I know, and that's why I said I had higher expectations for him.
Nah, I
Because if you
didn't.
Al that size,
Yeah, I didn't have.
I would have been probably
With no dog?
Listen, you can't say if Al was that high.
Because Al
If
is the
Allen
greatest.
Iverson was 6'4", he might have been the greatest basketball player of all time or some shit like that. Like next to man, come on, man.
I gave Vince the benefit of the doubt because he was tall and had all the
That's
skills.
your fault.
Yeah, that's
That's
I know,
your
and
fault.
That's why I said he underachieved, because that's just my personal opinion of what I was thinking of Vince coming in.
He
That's
underachieved
it.
to
I'm
you.
not saying
You're
it's right or
mean.
wrong.
That's why we had to break Vince down. God dang it. Vince, you had a great career. I'm a huge fan. You did what I thought you was going to do in the league. Don't listen to Pierre.
What did Draymond say to Paul Pierce? I would say the same thing to Vince Carter.
Oh. No, Vince was finna get fanfare. You stop that. If
Sure.
Vince
They don't love you like that, Vince.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They love Vince.
I don't.
Wow.
Great dunker.
Why you don't
Dunk
like
again.
Vince?
It's not that I don't like Vince.
You just said it.
Yeah, you
All
did.
I'm saying is okay, let me just ask y'all a different question. Where would Vince rank in your top 10 2 guards? It might take us some time. We might have to address this next
Top
session.
10 2 guards.
Top 10 2 guards.
Towards
Where
the
does
bottom?
he rank? Okay. Okay.
He might not make my top 10.
What does that got to do with
Thank you.
anything?
Yeah,
All I'm
but that's
saying
my
is-
top 10.
That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
It has a lot to do because Vince had a solid career, a very good career. But all I'm saying is I'm not looking at Vince as, hey, he was one of the greatest.
We haven't said that.
Okay.
No,
All right.
no one said that.
Okay.
Like you're arguing yourself.
I think it's like you and Vince Carter had way more expectations. Like that's about it. Like everyone else knew what was going to happen.
Only you and Vince thought he was going to be somebody else.
I saw that. Okay.
I swear I did, man. I
Be a
swear
good player on somebody's team.
Coming out of Carolina, I thought Vince was about to be.
He needed to be somebody. He should have been somebody's Pippen.
Yeah, like
Yep.
if Tracy
I was looking
would
at
have
him like
stayed,
Mike then.
if Tracy McGrady would have stayed, they would have understood it. Like, oh, okay,
Tracy's
the guy.
Right.
Vince, okay, let's get Tracy the shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
I
man,
had higher
that's
expectations,
hilarious.
so that's it.
I mean, that's
Man,
cool.
he's still a
That's
journeyman.
cool.
He's still a journeyman.
You ain't gotta keep taking shots
No,
at
it's
him.
not that. I don't like calling.
You don't gotta keep taking shots
I
at
don't
him.
want to give Vince. I don't want to give because he had playoff battles. I don't want to give him a journeyman. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, he's not.
The only battle you remember is Toronto versus Philly. And
That was a battle.
2004.
That
That was in 2004.
And
I don't remember anything else.
And then when he's in New Jersey, he had some good battles then. And he had a few good plays and stuff, memories that I have in Dallas. You know, I just some really good plays. I just saw it. I literally just saw it before he started talking. I was like, oh.
Vince will be known for jumping over the dude in the USA game.
That was amazing.
That's it.
So you trying to tell me Vince ain't got the most standout plays that you didn't? Vince has some top
Some
nice
three moments.
Dunks. Yeah.
Man, a lot of moments, man. Vince didn't.
Like Vince, it ain't just
dunks.
Listen, it's not. You can't just say just dunks because a lot of niggas can just dunks.
Wow.
That was a fun all-star dunk contest. That was the best ever. Thank you, Vince. I really appreciate it.
All right,
y'all.
Really
Wow.
I never knew what it. See, I've known John. He's had a couple of run-ins with Vince Carter. He liked Vince. Like they've seen it. You know, they've chopped it up before. Did Vince?
Oh yeah, I have seen Vince a few times.
Yeah, I forgot.
I really did. I have seen Vince a few times.
Here, did Vince bump you in the airport or something? You dropped your soda or something?
No, Vince cool, man. He's straight.
That's funny as hell. I forgot about that. Vince. Yeah. Thanks.
I remember that. He came back and told me like, man, Vince called me and Vince. I thought the
we was chopping it up in the barber shop. We was talking.
I was like, damn.
I was like, okay, cool cat. I like Vince. Vince a nice guy.
Yeah.
See, that's where which stop was his favorite.
Oh, all right, y'all. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
No, what if I run into him again? I got idea.
I seen
Vince doesn't work with my cousin. I enjoyed your basketball career. He lived in Minnesota. Go somewhere and find him out there.
We liked you, Vince.
Yeah, I was a fan. I knew what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
You're a mean guy.
I'm just kidding.
Man. It's Sunday.
Yeah. All right, man. My allergies are acting up, y'all. So shit. Y'all got some closing remarks.
How y'all doing with this? Y'all chilling at the crib, man. How y'all doing?
I'm loving it.
It's nothing better,
I
bro.
hope outside never open back up.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
I'm cool, man. I'm cool, man.
Only thing I'm cool with.
Another month be all right.
Yeah, I can do another month of this. I can do another month of this because of shit. Like traffic ain't shit for me to go to work now. Like shit, since I'm essential, you know, traffic ain't shit. I just drive on to work, take my time. I believe in like 20 minutes to get to work. Plenty of time.
I tell you, traffic is null and void. Like I leave about a minute to go to work because I get up. Like I clock in at 7, so I get up at like 6:45.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I gotta take that long ass walk to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So it'd be crowded, the dog being there, I'd be like, damn. But anyway. All right, then.
Hey, wait, hold on. Y'all
Less than a
the
minute.
Mulberry documentary yet?
Not yet.
No, man, you gotta check it out because the Stephon Mulberry documentary.
Yeah.
It might change your opinion a little bit, John. John, I think you picked Steph, but my whole opinion changed to Steph watching that documentary. So check it out, though.
I feel the same way for Steph as you do for Vince. All right, y'all. All right, y'all.